blockchain, as you were describing, it's the foundation. Cryptocurrency is a feature on that highway, on that foundation that's built. NFTs, securitized tokens. So there's a lot of things, and there's probably a half a dozen or several hundred other features that we haven't thought of yet. But let's go into STO. Since you're in investments, knowledgeable in STOs, this is what has me excited. How do you view the STO or how is the STO process different than the traditional security process?
Yeah, so there's a lot of efficiencies that come into play when we start using blockchain, start utilizing STOs or security, or start bringing on new security token offerings. Those efficiencies include the speed of transactions, the immutable nature, bringing the trust in the trustless environment, the instantaneous transactional process, and then added features that come into play with it as well. Traditionally, when you're looking at a real estate deal in the alternates world, you're looking at signing off on large PPMs and disclosures, and you have to wire money to an escrow company. You have to go over a whole bunch of paperwork that you have to sign off on, the formal operating agreements, and then receive your K1s and deal with all of that. And then from the sponsor side, it's a similar process where you have to not just create those documents, but then also have to manage them, investor relations, and all of those things make it a very tedious process. Once you have STOs, or once you start utilizing STOs for those offerings, and instead of going for traditional offerings, we go towards security token offerings, you're talking about one-click investing. You're talking about instantaneous transaction settlement. You're not waiting on escrow periods. You're talking about fractionalizing it down to as small a number as you want. St. Regis is down to start off as $1 a share. Some others may have it up to 10,000 or 1,000 or 500, depending on how you want to value that asset. So STOs really change the game in terms of the speed of the transactions, the transfer agent aspect of it, and other intermediaries, which you don't really need from a technical perspective anymore. Now, from a regulator perspective, you still need a lot of those intermediaries still in place to make the product function within the given circumstances that we have per SEC and FINRA and all the other 3 and 4 letter regulators out there.
Yeah, I want to get to tokenization and fractalization, but first, from a platform standpoint, how long is it going to be before we get there to where it's as you describe, where it's one click done, as opposed to like now you have the platforms, then you've got the currency, which can be crypto versions or fiat. Then you have keys and public wallets, and like it's very clunky. They'll fix that.
But I like to believe we fixed it. Right, I like to believe we fixed it at Accrual, and that's how we set up Accrual.
Talk about it.
So look, the reason why Coinbase is the single largest exchange out there for cryptocurrencies is because of the user experience for it, right? And there's no other way that you will get larger user adoption till you don't really solve for that true experience, where you don't have to deal with those private keys and public keys. You don't have to download all these apps and all these wallets, and you don't have to manage these cold wallets or these cold storages in terms of these USB keys like storage systems and stuff. You have to create a platform, and that's what our thought process was when we created Accrual, where it's a seamless process for users to sign on, just like they would in their email address, just like they would in their Gmail account or anything else. And you're able to onboard your money on the platform just like you would on Robinhood. You connect a bank account and you transfer funds in your Robinhood account. And now when you want to invest, you just pick and choose the asset that you want to invest in, and you say, buy now. And that's the end of that transaction.